Hello, whoever's here. Just Paul. Just me and Paul hanging out. That's fine. We've done that before. It's going to be boring, though, for anybody who's watching after. Just me hanging out with Paul. It's going to be pretty boring. Maybe not. Maybe me and Paul will have a riveting discussion. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mr. Paul Waldrop. How are you, my friend? How was your week? Dr. Ping's here too. Good evening to you as well. Dr. Ping, have I ever asked you if you are actually a doctor? Like, do you have a PhD in something? I thought about continuing my education past a couple of bachelor's degrees. There was a time if I could have found the funding, I probably would have at least a master's degree, but not a doctor. Okay, it's just a fun name. Well, Mr. Ping isn't as cool of a name. Gotta say, Doctor, you picked a good one. Doctor Ping is a good name compared to Mr. Ping. Brian's here. Hello, Vineyard Farmhouse. How are you, my friend? A PhD in either golf putters or network latency. Uh, Ping makes a full line of golf clubs. They don't just make putters. But it's still a good joke. Amy Gersh made it. Welcome back, my friend. Oh, how is everybody's week? How are things going? How's the thumb? The thumb. Okay, the last week's Veritas Band-Aid was covering this. I don't know if it's going to show up real well. It's it's mostly closed. It's starting to get that stuff around a wound that where it starts to like the dead skin starts to peel up and come away, and you want to like rip it off but don't, kind of stuff. It's still not a little bit open right at the end, but mostly healed and sealed. It's not bleeding anymore. It finally stopped bleeding. Kaduk is back as well. Sorry, you never have to apologize for not being here. Life has to come first. Life has to come before this nonsense. I mean, for me, this is part of my life. It doesn't need to be for you guys. Oh, marking knives are complete and finished. Except, does anybody have a good solution for getting cured epoxy off metal? Because there are a few little, let's call them splurts of epoxy that have found their way either from like fingerprints or something during the process onto the blade section of my marking knives that I'm not super happy with. They're not going to affect the functionality of the marking knives. But let's see if I can find one, see if it'll show up. Some of them are, well, one of them came flying out of my hands and across the garage, so it's got a couple of dings in it that are pretty substantial. But like right there at the edge of the scale, little bit of spooge. That sounded terrible, but you know what I mean. Right on the in there. It's not going to do anything for the functionality of this beautiful, beautiful tool, but it bothers me. And if acetone, Amy says. Cured epoxy, though? I don't know. I've used acetone to get wet epoxy off of things. Soak a clean cloth or kitchen roll in acetone-based nail polish remover. Paint thinner or rubbing alcohol, press it into the hardened epoxy for several minutes until, okay. So maybe more of like a soak. Maybe. This side's okay. This side's got a spooge. But overall, like, pretty happy with them, other than the actual, like, damage that was done to which one? That went flying out of my hand and did this situation. It's not significant enough to be super obvious at first glance. This one? No. I got one over here. No, that's not it either. Maybe it is. This one's got a little ding in the top of it. In any case, that one, they're done and ready to go. Like, is that other than like final photography and wooden things and stuff engraved on there. A little bit of spooge of the epoxy on that one. I'll see if I can't take care of that the little bits of imperfections in terms of epoxy, like fingerprints, just from handling at the wrong time. But damn, that is an attractive marking tool and super comfy. They're all sanded up to, I went to 340 and finished with Custom Creations liquid wax, and I buffed the hell out of them over on the lathe with the buffing wheel. Very, very nice. They could be better. I mean, like, let's all work at getting better. That's part of life is getting better. And this is my first ever batch of marking knives that are for sale. The 2024 edition will be a little bit better. The 2025 edition will be a little bit better. They probably won't have as attractive of a wood involved, though. I think it's going to be, I'm going to be hard pressed to find a more attractive wood to make marking knives out of than the double dyed stabilized box elder burl from the 2023 edition, and two of the Cocobolos. Yeah, they turned out really nice. I'm 8.7 out of 10 happy with them. Which is pretty good for your own stuff. Like, you're always your own worst critic when it comes to, like, oh, I could have done that a little better. You're always your own worst critic about stuff. So, and they're tools too, you know, like, oh, but get this, got a little ding in it. You're gonna drop this off your bench at some point and it's gonna have a little ding in it. So now I'm just justifying. Lessons learned. Don't bulk drill them. Yes. Drill them individually. Tape the blade before you start working the scale too much. That's about it, really. Maybe maybe taping off. But that would be hard to do, to tape it off before you get the scale put on so that you don't get any spooge on the knife blade. I don't know. I think I say it's a success. Hopefully I can sell a few of them to make up for the calendar debacle. And we'll move on. We'll move on and get back to next up. Next on the bench. It's already out here on the bench. That's how next up it is. We're going back to the guitars. We're going back to the sister guitars. This one that we've been making live on the show. Well, we were making live on the show some time ago. And its sister, the Purple Heart top with the walnut Purple Heart maple stripe. That pair of guitars is next up. Back to the stool. No, guitars are next. Because guitars are part of 2023 resolutions. So they need to be next in order for me to get one step closer to having one more thing on that list done. The shop stool was from resolutions 2 years ago. Okay, it doesn't count anymore. Guitars are next, other than like Christmas market stuff, like snowman ornaments and gnomes, and making sure my market booth is stocked is technically next, but it's not the next. It's not a major project. Those are like in between guitar things. I can crank out a couple of snowmen or a couple of gnomes or whatever. I need some help on the. Okay, so this one we've got figured out because we were working together on the show on it. The Purple Heart top, walnut, Purple Heart maple back, and hold on. And then the Purple Heart maple neck, right? So from the front goes like that. But I need to pick a fretboard for it. And I don't know whether to go with the Indian rosewood that I had picked out for it, or flamey maple. I can't decide whether I want a dark or a light fretboard. Like, that looks awesome. But that looks pretty awesome too. I don't know. On top of the Purple Heart walnut neck. Like, I don't know. Eric Habakabaka thinks dark. Paul thinks dark looks better. That's why I initially picked it. In general, I don't like light fretboards. I don't like maple fretboards in general. But this is going to be overall a very dark guitar. Maybe that's too contrasty if I go with maple then. I don't know. Fix you guys a little bit. Whoa, not that much. Let's 2 votes. 2 votes for the rosewood. That is where I was sitting with this guitar. I had decided. that's pretty. That's Vanille says Myrtle, because of course he does. Stain the Tiger Maple, the fretboard. It's an idea. You could just darken the maple and keep the flaming, and then it would be a dark, flamey maple top or fretboard. Saw the top off the neck and use it for a fretboard. I think that's too much purple. And a big white stripe down the middle of the fretboard, I don't think I would like at all, actually. No. So the end, it made me think, but I don't think that I like that guitar. What woods are in that guitar again? It is purple. It's Purple Heart, walnut, and maple. Purple Heart top. Purple Heart top over a walnut, Purple Heart maple, and then the neck is the Purple Heart and maple. I actually think that would look pretty stupid as a fretboard. Now that I've thought about it. Amy says walnut. I think walnut's too soft for a fretboard. I did think about walnut as the fretboard, but I think it's just too soft. I mean, it's not like it's going to ever get played anyway. It's going to hang on the wall as a decorative thing. So maybe walnut's the answer to match the back. And like if it gets played 19 times ever, it doesn't matter if the fretboard is walnut. Is there a finish on the body? There's no finish on anything with these guitars yet. This one isn't even shaped. This one isn't even finally shaped yet. The one that we're talking about right now, it's not even going to look like this. It's going to look like this. So let's put that on there. It needs to still needs to have a fair bit cut away in various places. We got a template. It's gonna What's the other guitar's options? What other this one doesn't have any more options. It's already so far along that there aren't really any. Rub some denatured on it so that we can see what it's going to look like. Wait, the purple one? We got to be specific about what we're talking about. And I don't have any denatured alcohol because I live in Canada. I do have some Varsol, some paint thinner. The purple one? Okay. Make the shop stink again. Ugh. Kind of look like that, except a slightly different shape. Hold the fretboard up to it. All right, we got it. Well, it'll this but darker. Well, let's just. that. Or nah. Oof. Varsol stinks. He says the dark. Chris, I think the figured maple fretboard with the purple heart. Lajeunesse is saying tiger. Oh, changed my mind. Amy's back on the maple. Maple is winning now. Maybe I'll make a Patreon vote. And I'll let my patrons pick it. That actually, it's very attractive. Yeah, maybe. Eric's still sticking with his vote on the dark wood. The rosewood. That's sick looking though. Well, Paul's on the maple train too now. I don't know. I'm just thinking the dark on the dark. The purple heart is plain. It's true. There is no. It's the difference between the. It's basically straight grain purple heart. Right? There's nothing really interesting happening here. Whereas, so like an interesting fretboard coming off of it might be cool. Whereas on the other one, let's get the Varsol back up. This is the other guitar, the sister of that, the one that we've been working on the show, is this like spalty maple top guy, where the visual interest is absolutely going to be in the body. So, and it has a purple heart neck. So it looks like it's further along, obviously. So it looks more like this. And then the back, the purple heart, maple, purple heart. They're both going to be very attractive instruments. But yeah, the amount of visual interest in this one's body calls for a more plain kind of fretboard, I think. I think you might be right. Maybe the flamey maple to like add some visual interest. I gotta close this. Where's the lid for the Varsol? If it's the sister, you have to choose the maple. No, I don't. Both purple heart and maple, but opposing. They're not paternal twins. Wait. Maternal twins? What are identical twins? Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't have to do anything. That one, it's not even the same structure. This one has 3 woods in it. This one's walnut, purple heart, and maple. The other one's just purple heart and maple. So they're already that much different by having different number of woods in them. I almost like the idea of saying, like, so what if walnut's soft? We'll just make the fretboard out of walnut because there's walnut in the back of that guitar. But the Flaming Maple did look pretty nice up against it. Been working on a Wenge guitar with a Wenge neck. All dark is going to look great. I have one of those too. Well, not Wenge, but all right, I'll go get the third one. Third one isn't as far along as either of those in some ways. The third one is going to be all walnut and rosewood. So the neck is walnut with rosewood stripes, with the rosewood fretboard going on the top, and then a fully walnut body. And I might make some rosewood like pickup surrounds, and probably the knobs will be rosewood. But this is going to be an all dark dealy too. This is the sister of Dawn, my first ever guitar. So this one is essentially the same model as Dawn, except it's going to be sort of a chambered, semi-hollow body kind of thing with a top and an F hole and one pickup instead of two, because I am not a fancy pants guitar player and I don't need all of the bells and whistles. Dusk is correct. Yes, that's this guitar's name is Dusk. And Dusk is going to be ridiculously attractive and very dark. Very, very dark. But like that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13-piece laminated neck between all of the walnut and the rosewoods. This Peruvian rosewood, Panama rosewood in the stripes. And that guy, that's gonna be pretty. So 3 guitars on the go right now. I only need to finish 2 by the end of the year to win that resolution. Oh, Dusk is going to be gorgeous. Yes, Dusk is going to be my most attractive guitar. And I got all black hardware for her too, like black tuning pegs and pickups and bridge and yeah. Dusk, I think, is going to get a single Seymour Duncan 59 pickup in it. With maybe a rosewood pickup surround. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be pretty. Let's see if I have the... Yep. All that F-hole around the top that's not showing up real great. But single pickup. Not sold on the F-hole design yet. It's where I left off in the design, and I think it's probably going to be something close to that. Yeah, so guitars are up next. After, hopefully, Monday or Tuesday, I can finish editing, or I can start and finish editing the video on the marking knives, get the photos of them all up onto Patreon so that people over there who want them can pick theirs before they go out to the public. Gonna make some certificates of authenticity because I'm fancy pants. And you're paying for a limited edition run of handmade marking knives, you should get something that says that you've done that. And I dig back in on the guitars and the Christmas market stuff. It looks fancy. I think it's gonna look amazing. Whether it sounds okay or even plays, who knows? Any updates on the Beaver truck? The Beaver truck is turning into the shop stool situation. I have made no movement on the Beaver truck. I'm still pissed off that they're making it a hassle. And maybe I don't even follow through with sending them the stupid video that they want of the problem, because I just am pissed off that they're making me do that. And I just chalk it up to a loss, and I put out a video that says, don't buy anything from these assholes, they suck balls. Because at this point, I might send them a video and they'd be like, really, dude, it took you that long to send us a video or something? Like, well, they won't say it like that because they're Chinese. So, but the sentiment will be the same. Like, no, unfortunately, now it's been too long. I don't understand. You're going to know when I send it back to you whether I'm lying. And you have my credit card information. Like, it's why you make me talk about it and get upset? Why? I also have a tooth infection, which is not awesome. If anybody out there has never had a tooth infection, it sucks. I've been like numbing this back bottom side of my face with this numbing gel for like 3 days. I'm having trouble sleeping. It wakes me up every 2 hours to re-numb my face. But we keep on keeping on, one foot in front of the other. Yeah, so that's where things are at. Put some 5-minute epoxy in the hole. Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Alcohol antiseptic. I thought about getting a bottle of scotch for tonight. I really did. I've been doing like saltwater rinses and I found out that naproxen is the best of the over-the-counter pain meds for this particular ailment, because it actually helped me get a decent night's sleep last night for the first time in like 4 days. Tylenol was doing a little bit, but not enough. Keep on keeping on. Send you some of the brownies my daughter just made. Do I need some kind of documentation for those to cross the border? Sounds like I might. Like, are they going to smell that package as it's trying to cross the border? This is a nice piece of wood. Amy wants some. You can send Amy. Amy can get mine. She can have mine. I don't want us to get in trouble by trying to send them across the border. I had 2 of them for breakfast yesterday. Didn't know that they were special. Why are you having brownies for breakfast, first of all? But anyway, you're an adult. You can have brownies for breakfast. Last 37 minutes before I had to call in. I just love that he's like, I'm a grown up. I can have brownies for breakfast. And just started eating them. And then realized, like, oh, I'm fucked. I cannot go to work. I wonder if the strips would show with the trans tint on the main. Oh, like the flaming bits? Yeah. Yeah, because this is all different grain orientations presenting in the face, right? So like some of this is end grain essentially, and it would absorb more of the dye than the other bits, and so it would accentuate it probably if I dyed it. You just dye it black and then sand it back so that all the black is deeper in the end grain bits, and just thinking dye might be cool. Dye might be cool, but it sucks because like it needs to be final shaped and in place and everything in order to dye it, and then by that point I would be risking getting dye on other things, and I'm not very careful sometimes. I'll think about the dye aspect. What I'll do probably is I'll just make it. I'll make it with this, and maybe I'm perfectly happy with this, and then if I'm not perfectly happy with it, I can start messing around with dye. Try to test bees first. Nah. She's right. No, she's right. But I think if I just make it, if I make it with this, and I'm like, I think I might like it with some dye. Hey, give it a go. The bad part is I ate 3 of them right before bed. Slept great. Yeah, probably. Grabbed 2 for breakfast. The board has 2 sides, so you have 2 tries. Not after it's a fretboard, I don't. I do have some little bits. This board right here is a resaw from another board. I have 4 of these, I think. Because this was a piece of 4/4 that I was like, oh, that's too pretty to use like that. I resaw this bad guy, this bad boy, and I think I have 4 of these. I use edibles for sleeping. They work amazing. I'd never try to work while. Yeah. John McGill's back. How you doing, my friend? We're talking about the getting back into the guitar situation. Because I have 3 started. Remember how I have 3 guitars that are in partial completion stages? That's next up, is getting back into those. finish one by the end of the year, finish two by the end of the year, my friend. I can finish two of them by the end of the year. Absolutely going to finish one. Hopefully finish two. Because the goal for the year, the resolution was that I would make 2 stringed instruments by the end of the year. And I think I'm far enough along on any 2 of these 3 to be able to finish 2 of them by the end of the year. If I get back to work on them, if I stop slacking off, because that's me. I'm a huge slacker. Didn't know I was high. I thought it was sugar rush or maybe something diabetes related. Tried to make an inside out ornament from olive wood and it blowed up. Got too thin on the posts. Got too thin on the posts. It's the wrong 2, Todd. Screwed me up. So much time wasted. Yeah. It's I understand. I get a fair bit of time wasted sitting up there on the top of that shelf. Oh, Todd Lajeunesse, I had a question for you. Because I saw on Instagram, what was my question for you? I saw a post on Instagram, and I had a question for Todd Lajeunesse. I was going to ask him if he showed up on the show. Oh, I remembered. Where are you getting your urchins? Because I looked last year at the lead up to Christmas or the year before. I was like, oh, they sell like bags of them on Amazon. And I'm like, are those going to just be shit? Like, are they going to show up? They're going to all be broken and like, or they're just. So I didn't buy them. Yeah, Amazon? Okay. So the bag full of urchin shells is actually cool. Because I thought, like, there's no way you can get them at the beach here. Okay, well, then you go harvesting sea urchins for me, and you hollow them out so that it's just the shell left. And you clean them up all nice, and then you can send them to me. Because it's free then. Thanks, Pinnell. It's not time wasted if you learn something, Miguel said. That's a good point. And if you're having fun, fun's got to be worth something. They are plastic and crush easily top to bottom, but fairly strong once assembled. So they're plastic. They're not actual urchin shells? Well, see, that's why I thought, like, maybe these are garbage. I don't want, like, plastic pretend urchins. I was wondering why they were so cheap. Because they're just, like, form cast plastic things. Ooh. Maybe that's going to be as good as it gets, though. I don't know. Because essentially you're just making like two finials to like plug into them, right? And they absolutely look cool. So maybe it's still worth it. It'd be way cooler if they were real. We'll get Pinnell to get us some. He almost volunteered. Like if I scroll back, You can get them at the beach here, he said. Oh, he did say you can get them at the beach here. He didn't say I can get them at the beach here. Pinnell, can you get them at the beach? Can you get them at the beach? I'm just asking, hypothetically, could you? You can give me the GPS coordinates. And then maybe I can send my friend who lives in your house to go get them for me. Like, he lives right by there. Hold on. Bear with. Morris 10 in the top and bottom. Finially. Yeah. I think the first time I ever saw that done with the urchins, I think, was Ashley Harwood. And I was like, damn, that is an attractive ornament. I would expect that hers were probably real. He's gonna Ron Swanson and pull the tooth out. That was a good gag. That was a good gag. It's like, it's good. It's good to get your employees to think that you have that kind of pain threshold. I had it removed this morning at the dentist, but oh hey, look at that. It's a good coincidence. I saw it on Pinterest. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the first time I saw it was Ashley Harwood, and she was making like ebony finials for them. So I assumed that those urchins were real, and she was probably charging hundreds of dollars per ornament for them, and they would have been worth it. Here. And maybe a nicotine sooner than usual. We'll see. I'm actually looking forward to getting back into guitars. It's been a while. I would like to make a piece of furniture this year as well, but I don't think I'm going to get to. Unfortunately. I think this year might be furnitureless. Have I ever gone a full year without making like a piece of substantial, like a substantial piece of furniture, even if it was just like a wall cabinet or something? I don't think I have. I don't think there's been a year since I started woodworking that I didn't make like an actual piece of furniture. Shop stool. Oh, you're right. If I finished turning the shop stool into an end table, that would count as making a piece of furniture this year. Because I don't know if you were here, Sean, but we talked about how that's not actually a shop stool anymore. It's going to be like an end table or a side table or something now. What did you make this year? That's a good question. Turned a lot of stuff. A lot of pans. Some bottle stoppers. Some bowls. Made but I did a inlay on a ceremonial paddle. Was that this year? I think that was this year. I did dice boxes. I made dice boxes this year. And not a lot, really. Glowforge cabinet for work. I think that was last year. I got some work done on some guitars. I got some work done on what's gonna be a piece of furniture, or did I? That may have been sitting there for that long that I didn't actually. Made a bunch of marking knives. I made 47 live videos for entertainment purposes on the internet. Opened the Wolverine box. It's true. I did open the Wolverine jig and set it up and used it. I taught numerous turning classes, which, by the way, thanks for asking, you guys. My first ever bowl turning class went really well last week. Last Sunday, I taught my first ever bowl turning class. And yeah, thanks for asking. It went really well. It went long. Can't get 3 people through learning how to turn a bowl and having them turn a bowl in 4 hours. I can't. On one lathe. I misjudged. I didn't misjudge. I should never have expected that was a thing that was going to be able to happen. No excitement. No big grabs or catches. There were a couple of little and I was like, yeah, it's good. Let's talk about why that happened. Let's everyone gather around. We'll talk about what went on there, kind of situations. But nothing, no explosions, no huge chunk outs, no. I thought you were taking the other lathe. I did take the other lathe, but I didn't want people having their first bowl experience be on that one. I brought it so that if you didn't want to watch after the demo, if you didn't want to watch the first person do their bowl, you could go over to that one and do a pen while you're waiting your turn, kind of situation, which did happen because everybody who took this class was supposed to have taken the pen turning class. So I was like, hey, you can turn a bonus pen while you're here waiting your turn, kind of situation. And it was good. Everybody enjoyed that aspect of it. They broke my lathe. They broke my mandrel. Use the Mastercraft as the sanding finishing lathe. Could maybe done that. But you're only, by the time you get around to the inside, and you're on the sanding finishing of the inside of the bowl, and we're only going to be saving 5 minutes by having them go over to the other one to finish sand and finish the inside of the bowl so that the next person gets started. I don't think that's really a good. There might be something that we can get, maybe get the roughing work done. You can get it at least turned around on the Mastercraft lathe before coming over. The next person can get theirs turned around before they get. There might be a possibility there. It's early, but I did a 300-mile drive today, so I'm going to hit the sack. Bye for now, my friend. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for supplying the stabilized, double-dyed stabilized box Elder Burl for the 2023 edition of the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff limited edition marking gauges. 5 minutes for a beginner to sand and finish. Yeah. Because because they have a good teacher. That's right. You're welcome. All right. Thanks, man. Have a good sleep. Buy a one-way and expense it. You can just get the shop to buy it. You know what? If I'm gonna keep doing turning classes down here, you should really think about investing $20,000 in a lathe. Like it'll pay itself off in no time. I might be exaggerating, but they ain't cheap. It's fine. I think probably what's going to happen for bowl turning lessons is I'm just going to end up doing them one-on-one in my shop. Because I don't think if I do any fewer than 3 people, it's not really worth picking everything up and moving it down to the shop to do it out in the parking lot. And at 3 people to get them through the process, we're looking at 4 hours, 5 hours. And then why don't I just do them individual, like one-on-one sessions for 2 hours right here in the shop? And then it's not an hour in front and an hour behind for setup and cleanup and everything like that. So I might end up just doing it that way. Like once you've taken the pen turning one, we can set up a 2-hour intermediate turning lesson one-on-one in my shop to learn bowls. Might be how it goes. Because then it's worth my time per hour per person, and it's more intimate without sounding gross and weird. You know, some people learn better one-on-one than in groups and can address individual problems as they arise and stuff like that. It's still in the works. I don't have another bowl turning class scheduled this year. So, and the schedule is out through the end of December. I'd just be worried about insurance and liability. Why you gotta say that? Everything will be fine. It's a very adult thing of you to say. We can workshop a slogan for that. Sign up to get intimate in my garage. One-on-one. One-on-one intimate in Mike's garage. Expense 2 Rikons probably. Well, the other part of the problem is like taking my eyes off people. You know, if I'm trying to watch and teach and this person's making cuts and they're doing something incorrectly, I need to be paying attention so that I can address that before something goes wrong. And trying to split my focus between 3 people going at the same time on 3 different lathes would be very, very stressful for me. Hardwood included. Oh, you know it. Do you need another lathe? Well, that's what we're talking about. It's like I did plan on getting another lathe so that I could have 2 good ones instead of 1 good one and 1 shit one when I'm teaching. But I almost don't know if I want. Pen turning worked okay on the 1 good one and 1 shit one. I would rather have 2 good ones, obviously. But pens worked okay having 2 people going because yes, there are safety issues, but you're not going to get hurt. If you catch something wrong and something explodes on a pen, that's the end of that pen. You're not like we're not off to the hospital, right? theoretically. But with bowl turning and gouges and the pen turning with carbides, it's pretty easy to do. There's not much bad can happen there, other than not having a pen at the end. You can get hurt pretty bad if things go wrong turning a bowl. So I think I could probably manage 2, but then it's twice as much heavy to be moving down there all the time. I think I would just rather go to one person, one at a time in my shop, 2 hours, pay myself okay. People get the one-on-one interaction. They get to be intimate with me in my shop. And because they'll still have had to take like episode 1 of the class so that we have met, we're familiar with each other. I know where they are in terms of their comfort level and stuff. I think that's probably the way that it's going to end up going. Have them sign a waiver. You don't want to be alone with a female. That's not a good idea. Okay, you're not wrong. I hate that we have to think like that, but you're not wrong. I live stream the lessons. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily need to live stream them, but I could absolutely like just have a camera up in the corner of the shop. Give myself that level of comfort in terms of defending myself or whatever against something ridiculous. But see, I don't even, my brain doesn't even go there. I'm just like, I don't even think of that shit. It's terrible that we have to think of that shit. Or a kid, yeah, fair. That's valid. These are valid points. I hate that they're valid points, but they are valid points. Damn, maybe I just stopped teaching because the world sucks. Ooh. Dog's having an argument over across the street. I am going to have myself a nicotine stick. Yep. You made me upset. I'm sad about the state of our society. Yeah, you guys did that. You guys made me sad and upset about the state of our society. No, you didn't. I can't blame you guys. I'm already there. I'm already sad and upset about the state of our society. Or continue doing it in the parking lot with 2 Crow's Nest owned lathe. Yeah, see, but when the next time Nadia shows up, you guys can talk to her about buying some lathes for the shop. Because like, maybe she'll listen to you guys. It's funny because when Rikon released the 7105, the new one they released just this year, I think. It's like a 1016 kind of lathe. And Lee Valley had it on an introductory rate for 500 Canadian dollars, including a 3-pack of carbide turning tools. And I sent her the link and I was like, you should get one of these for the shop. This would be a good investment. And then they sold out within like a week and a half before, like, because I was going to buy one to just bring down there because it would be lighter than the 1260 Laguna that I have. And I was just going to get one to do pen turning classes on because it would have been lighter and I would have got free tools. Well, they work it into the price. But yeah, it's sold out, and they haven't had it back in stock since its initial release. And they're selling it down at Wood to Works, the place that I get my turning stuff. They're selling it for $750, which is still like, it's probably where it should be, honestly. Like in the price line of things, it probably should be about a $750 Canadian lathe. But that $500 initial release price with like $150 tools included, that would have been a good idea. Should have just pulled the trigger right away. We both should have. I should have bought one. She should have bought one. We would have had two. How do you move the Laguna with a bad back? Well, it sucks. It's not a fun operation. It's heavy. But I pick it up and I lug it. Generally, I pick it up from where it lives and I get it to the bench and I just take a second and then I get it from the bench to the box of the truck. I don't know what it weighs. Somebody could look it up. What does the Laguna 1216 weigh with the bed extension? It's not light. It's not stupid heavy. You can do it. The sooner you buy it, the sooner you can leave it in the box for years. It's true. I would have opened up and done the unboxing video of like immediately, probably. That one would have got opened right away. Especially if the shop would have bought it. Could have done the unboxing video down there. That would have been cool. I do want to do. Nadia said it's cool if I do a live show from down at the shop sometime. So I would like to do that. Show you guys where I spend some of my days and what I do. One night, it probably won't be a Saturday because most Saturday nights there's like classes and stuff going on. But like one night during the week when there aren't classes going on, maybe I'll do a live show from down there and be like, so this is the shop that I work at. You guys can see. I will laser something. And throw something in the Glowforge. Maybe a master sword. We can cut out a master sword out of MDF. 1/8 inch MDF master sword to make a template for the one that I'm going to make out of walnut and cherry. Lagoon 1216 is 118 pounds. And then the bed extension is probably another couple anyway. So maybe $1.25. But it's also kind of awkward. Like, plus I take the banjo off because it's got the lockdown thing that kind of sticks out the front and digs into your gut when you're trying to move it. It's not light, and it's not light, and it's not easy to just pick up and put someplace. But it's not terrible. Like I said, it's doable. There have been some Sunday mornings when I've had to move it down to the shop that I've been like, I don't think I can get this thing off. I just don't know that I can actually get this to the truck. I do, but I don't know. It's not my favorite operation, moving that thing around. While you're looking up lathe weights, you want to look up the weight of the Rycon 7105. Oh, Kyla's here. Hi, Australia. Oh, well, Eric was here. I already said hi to Australia, but hello, Brisbane. £30 bed extension? That seems heavy. I don't think it is. I have the outboard bed extension. I don't have what's the outboard bed extension is only the 10-inch one. It might be 15. It might be 20. It's cast iron. It's not light. Miss your face? There's my face right here. Need to pop in more? Sure you do. You come by anytime. I got a tooth. I already told her about my tooth thing. She messaged me this afternoon. It's like, how are things going? I'm like, well, I got a tooth thing, but other than that, just keeping on, keeping on. Kyla and Scott are going to be the ones who reap the rewards. Well, so am I, of the marking knife sales. Because I think I have decided that these marking knife sales are just going to be going through PayPal, so that the money from these can go into my PayPal account, and then I can just use that PayPal account to order more stuff from Australia, get some more custom waxes and things, so that I can then turn around and resell them. Because we want to start stocking them down at the shop. Because people are coming in more and more asking for, like, we do a lot of resin and wood charcuterie board type classes and stuff down there. And people are often asking us what to finish them with. And I'm like, well, I've got some stuff that I get from Australia, but I don't have enough to be selling you any right now. So I want to get a 20-pack of the liquid wax from those guys. So the marking knife sales are going to be, I messaged Scott a few nights ago and I was like, can I just have people pay you for the marking knives? And then I can build up credit at the custom grit shop. But that confuses bookkeeping and stuff. So we'll sell them through me, through PayPal. And then when I have the PayPal account built up, I can send it to Scott and get my order. Then buy 20 bottles of the liquid wax and the coasters that I said that I wanted from him, and the shirt that Kyla made for me apparently, and some of the high-speed crayon bars with the actual branding on them, so that when I show them, they look like what you would order if you ordered them, as opposed to like the initial run crayon bars that weren't like professionally packaged or anything. Because I think I got like the first batch of the crayon bars. They're just like wrapped in a cardboard tube that was like packing taped together. You've spent he shirt. You've spent he shirt. It exists. You want to try again? Scene. I know. It was still funny. Yeah, you were the maiden voyage. Yeah, I was like a product tester, kind of. It's good. It's good stuff. My crayons came in a nice box with a sticker. Bet they weren't as nice as my sticker. Bet my sticker's nicer than your sticker. Boom. It did have like Australian made under here, but it didn't make it through the. But that bad boy's like 9 inches long, 10 inches long. And I got this one over here too. You probably got this one. That I put on a piece of like flamey walnut. Chili Man makes Rikon bandsaws. So does Country Road Workshop. They collaborated on that Rikon bandsaw. It still smells like fucking Varsol over here, man. Why'd you guys make me do that? Put mine on my bandsaw as well. It's a good place for stickers. It's a good place for stickers. If I get another sticker, not only do I have a giant custom creation sticker on my bandsaw, I also have a custom creations. Oh, I thought it was a magnet. It's just a business card that I've taped there. I thought it was a magnet. Boo! I don't even know. I thought it was a fridge magnet. Why did I think that was a fridge magnet? Anyway, I'm better friends with them than you are, Todd. I have a magnet on my fridge. Only one I've made so far. Yeah, now I'm disappointed that I don't have a magnet. Maybe when I make that order for 20 bottles of liquid wax, maybe I get a fridge magnet in there. I've been to Brisbane. Yeah, but you haven't been to the Grant's place. I've virtually been in the Grant's place. Like I've virtually walked around in their house. We've hung out on their deck. You've been avoiding me and only talking to Scott. I haven't really been talking to Scott that much either. I thought you guys didn't like me anymore. I messaged Scott a little while ago and I was like, "Hey, are we still cool?" Because you guys both went missing. Because life has to take priority over this nonsense. Craft room is coming along. Good. Getting organized. I need to do. It's once again time to do a reset on the shop. Almost. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's better. It's better than it has been. It's not too bad. It's not in a terrible state. It's not in a good state. But 2.30, Eric says. I don't know what that's referencing. $2.30. February 30th. Nope, there is no 30th of February. 2.30 kilograms for the bed extension on my lathe, maybe, is what he's saying. Tooth hurty. Oh, hey, oh, I get it. Except it needs to be a colon there, my friend. It's not a period or a decimal. It's a colon. Might have gotten the joke. Probably not. But if it was a colon, I would have read it as 230, and then I might have got it. But because you said 2.30 as a decimal, the joke didn't fucking work. All right, beer. It's fun. This is what we do. We jab at each other. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Beer. Oh. We're gonna do. I say this sometimes and then it doesn't work. We are gonna do short show tonight, because last week we did 4 hours and that is ridiculous. So this week we'll go back to normal human being type show, and we'll keep it to a reasonable length. So when are you seeing the dentist, Mike? Well, as soon as somebody gives me $1,000. Every time you go to the dentist, it's like $1,000. I might be exaggerating, but dentists are expensive. We have great healthcare in Canada in terms of like what we pay for as citizens through our taxes. But dental care is not one of those things. So every time you go to the dentist, you either have to have private insurance or a wad of cash. So 2.5 hours tonight. We'll see. We'll see. Who needs teeth? Just eat mush. Yeah, just with a pizza pops and poutine for the rest of my life. Doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound that terrible. Honestly. I mean, I would miss steak and ribs. But a lot of the food that I like, I could probably gum down. That sounds weird. Doctor at the very least for checking infection. Oh yeah, now that it's like migrated into my jawbone, I think I can probably get a ampicillin prescribed to me from a doctor. Because last time that happened, I got a tooth infection and I went to the dentist and paid a crap ton of money. They literally wrote me a prescription for ampicillin to get rid of the infection. So I could just go to a doctor this time and maybe get them to do that instead. Now that the infection is actually like not just in my tooth or my gums, I can go to a walk-in clinic and probably be like, hey, have some aploxacillin or whatever it is. The same here. Healthcare is covered, but dentist requires an arm daily. They're working on getting dental care covered here in Canada. One of the opposition parties is and the opposition party that's propping up the government in power is pushing to get dental coverage for people. So hopefully. Dentists can't do anything while infection is presented. Yeah, that's why they just gave me a aploxacillin prescription and then charged me for the visit. Varsalacillin. I don't think that's a great. Amoxicillin? Is that? For a low 80 cents of every dollar you earn? Nah. No, I understand your sentiment, but no. For maybe, oh, let's see, is he going to go? Is he going to go? Okay, I'll go. Maybe we could make oil companies pay their proper tax rates. Stop giving tax breaks to Irving and Suncor. Make them pay for what they produce and their actual income as massive corporations. Then the rest of us could have dental care. Guess what happens at the pump? Sure. Yeah. I understand. It's all gonna come back down to the consumer. It all is. But we don't have to give them billions of dollars. When I could pay an extra 3 cents a liter at a time when I go to the gas pump in order to not have to have $1,000 to go to the dentist. It's like a payment plan kind of situation. It's all gonna come down. I know. But I'd rather it come down slower. Wait until we get our 3% digital services tax. Oh, is that 121? Or, yeah. Okay. Let's not. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone into it, but I just think there are better ways for our society to work in terms of how we pay for things. Is all I'm saying. Tell you what, we shouldn't be buying new fridges for Loblaws. Taxpayers shouldn't be buying new fridges for Loblaws. I yell at my radio in the car a lot. Hey, do you listen to CBC? It's funny because, like, sometimes I say things and people like think that I'm a huge lefty commie, like socialist guy, and sometimes I say things and people are like, "Oh my god, he's like a right wing lunatic." Like, no, I'm a realist. Let's figure out the best way to do things and make them happen. The Westons need that money more than me. Well, little Jimmy Weston went to the dentist last week, probably. Let's move away from social commentary and move back to random hypotheticals? Fun discussions about something? While I go and get some more Nummy Gel. Nummy Gel. Sure, the Westons have a private dentist on staff. Some of their stores have dental clinics in them, probably. I got my segmenting sled in the mail, but UPS damaged it. Of course it did. I think we talked about this one time. About how people should stop using UPS for anything. Because either they damage your shit or they hit you with an additional fee when it shows up at your door. Stop using UPS. Stop ordering from companies that use UPS. Or both. Or they either damage it or hit you with it. Did you get hit with a bonus charge and it was damaged? Is that what you're saying? It was both? Because that's fantastic. The double banger. It's great. Yep. Okay. It was damaged and hit with bonus charge. Right on. Scott soaked cotton balls in vodka for a toothache and placed it over the gum to numb it. It worked. That's not what he did with the vodka. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, I've heard clove oil is a good sort of nerve tooth thing as well. I'll get to pay the bonus fees for the replacement they're shipping me as well. That's awesome. That's some top-notch service right there. Okay, do you get reimbursed for the initial bonus fee that you paid for the damaged thing? Because then at least you're only paying the bonus fee once. Maybe. Sadly, no. So now you know not to order from that company ever again. Because they used UPS and they charged you bonus fees twice for a damaged thing that had to be replaced. So now you don't buy anything from that company because they suck. Because they get to choose who they use as their shipper. He did. It was in a shot glass on the nightstand. Paint's coming in. He just re-soaks the cotton ball and puts it back in. He was just slowly getting drunk. It's like one cotton ball dip at a time. I have 2 sleds though. Well, great. Because you need 2 segmenting sleds. Once I epoxy the broken bit back into place. Well, why would you ever need 2? You want one set for 18 degrees and one set for 12 so that you can do different sides? That seems like a waste of space. But send one to your friend Mike across the country by Canada Post. Oil of cloves tastes so bad. Rather have the toothache. I don't mind a toothache. Like toothache can come and go or whatever, but like actual infection that's now migrating its way down into my jawbone, not good. He doesn't know how to get drunk. Not enough alcohol in the world to get him drunk. That's a cool problem to have. Well, no, it isn't. Because being drunk is pretty fun. Asked if I could just epoxy it. Instead, he shipped me a whole new one. Okay, well, at least that's good customer service. That he was just like, no, don't worry about it. I'll just give you a new one. At least he's trying to take care of you. Ask him if he'll ship it by somebody other than UPS. Like, could you use a different shipping company, please? They suck. I saw you emailed me photos of the, okay, did I see them? And did I respond? No, I see I have new email. His options are limited going US to Canada. He can ship USPS and get it transferred to Canada Post at the border. I have things shipped USPS to me all the time, and Canada Post picks it up on this side. Paul Waldrop send me all kinds of things USPS. He did send me UPS. He said he won't anymore because the last time I got it, I had got hit with a bonus bill. So now he's going to send it USPS, and Canada Post is going to pick it up. FedEx goes across. Yeah, there's not a ton of options, but there are more than one. It's cool though. At least you'll have 2 segmenting sleds. I'm happy to pay shipping for one of them if you wanted to send it. Like even the broken one that you epoxy back together. Let's look into shipping. If you don't want it anymore, we'll look into shipping and see if you can send it to me. Because it'd be cool. To be honest, I thought about seeing if you wanted one of them. I don't know how many people could. Yeah, let's see what it costs to get from Ottawa to here. And we'll see if it's worth it. Because I think it'd be cool. FedEx wanted over $100 for the box I sent you. Yeah, that's. See what it looks like after I fix it. Yeah, well, don't half-ass fix it and then send me that it's still broken. Or you can send it to me broken and I'll try to fix it. I don't care. I'm not good at money. We've established that, right? Yeah, I'll just spend some of my money. I'm not going to spend it on a dentist. I'll spend it on a broken segmenting jig from my boys, Sean McGill. Oh. Oh, I have fun here with you guys. Just needs 2 quick clamps to hold it in place. There's a clean break, a little bit. Get some Starbond in there. It's a quick glue job and something. Yeah, a little bit of Starbond thick. Thanks, Starbond. Anybody wants to order some Starbond at a discount? There's a link down in the video description. Oh, we can shut this one down in 1 hour 40. If you guys, I don't have too much more to talk about. Guitars are the next thing on the bench. Marking knives, the Patreon peeps are going to get the detail photos and their opportunity to buy them as of November 1st. I want to get the video up this week so that maybe I could get a couple more people to hop over to Patreon and toss me a couple bucks over there to get in on the initial run, and then whatever's left after that can go out to the general public. Because business, Mike. And then we'll get into the guitars. Shop stool turned into a side table. And Christmas stuff. Christmas market things. Gnomes and snowmen. Yeah. That's the plan for the next month or so. Let's get her done. I think that's enough show for tonight after our 4-hour extravaganza last week. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. I'm gonna go to a doctor in the next couple of days and get some amoxicillin for my infection in my jaw. Amoxicillin. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say like, hey, can you write me a prescription for blah 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 bacillin? He'll know what I'm talking about. He or she will know what I'm talking about. Bye for now. First crack at the marking knives over at patreon.com/wooden things and stuff. Beautiful, beautiful marking knives. Bye, everybody.